Hi, I'm John from Just Whisky. If you like today's show, you know what to do. Thumbs up, like, subscribe. Consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. And I also have a PayPal email link if you're feeling inclined in that direction. And also, please check out my new channel called Just Music. It's a brand new channel. I've done a few shows so far, but it's still not part of the YouTube algorithm. And my next show, which I'm going to be recording right after this, will be something like top 10 guitarists of all time. So if that sounds interesting, I will put the link in the description below. And remember, folks, today it's just whiskey. Tomorrow it'll be just music. Today we're going to be reviewing, I think, the first batch, or one of the first batches, from Glenallachie, 12-year-old, 46% ABV, non-chill filtered, no coloring added, and the bottling date on this one here is 11-06-18. So June 11th, 2018. And the reason why I bought this, I bought two of these at the exact same time, is because this was Ralphie's Whiskey of the Year back then. And so I said, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. These have sat unopened for years, and I just fairly recently, a few weeks ago, I cracked this open. I'm like, you know what? It's about time I check this out. So you can see by the color that these earlier batches are not nearly as dark as the later ones. So the more recent ones, you can tell that they're heavily sherried, sherry bombs. I don't know what the cask makeup of this, but I'm guessing it's mostly ex-bourbon, and I have a feeling there might be maybe some second fill sherry a little bit in here. I don't know the ratio, but I would say it's probably mostly ex-bourbon with a little sherry, but I don't have the specs on it. I can tell you one thing, though, which is cool, is whenever I get a new bottle before I open it, or any bottle before I take a sip out of it, I turn it upside down to get any sediment or haze or flock more integrated so I can get those fatty oils. And this bottle here is loaded with flock and a hazy sediment, which is a good sign. So let's get on with the nosing and tasting, shall we? And again, it was Ralphie's Whiskey of the Year. And one more caveat. It wasn't until very recently that Billy Walker from Glenallachie is actually releasing his own distillate. So this bottle here, and much of it up until just the last couple of years, he inherited it all. I mean, he bought the whole warehouse of Glenallachie distillate, and he recast all or most of it he spent a small fortune on high quality casks. So this is original old Glenallachie spirit that's been recast under the guidance, the stewardship of Billy Walker. Okay. So on the nose, I'm getting cherry, caramel, but also there's some mustiness about it. Maybe a little bit of pencil shavings, some candy cigarettes. It's bourbon-esque with maybe a hint of sherry in there, integrated minimally. But a nice nose. Palate. Sweet and juicy fruits at 46% ABV. It does come across a little bit light, only because I'm overly saturated with cask strength, high ABV offerings. So for most people, it probably wouldn't come off as light. And I'm not saying it's light. I'm just saying in comparison to higher ABVs, which I'm more used to. But it also has some complexities in there. So the finish is sweet with some pleasant oak spice in there, some bitterness, a little bit of astringency. And at the very, very, very end, there's some cigar juice in there, a little bit of smoky ash, like cigar juice. So this is unpeated, but definitely some cigar ash juice in there for sure. I don't know where that's coming from, but maybe one of these casks had some kind of exposed to a peated process, a smoky process at some point. I don't know, but a little bit of cigar juice ash in the finish. It's good. I would not qualify this as whiskey of the year, but and I think a little bit of the romance of Glenallachie has dissipated from what I watch all Ralphie's videos, and he seems less enthusiastic about them nowadays than he was with this. And probably rightly so. Like back then, really no one had ever heard about them, so we kind of gave it, I think, a kickstart and really helped them by giving them some exposure. But that's his decision. He called it Whiskey of the Year. For me, I'm going to give it a solid 6 out of 10. I think it's good. It's not my go-to. I don't mind it at all. It's pleasant, has some mild complexities. But after this review, I'll put it on the shelf, and then several months later, I'll revisit it. And if we have some company, I'll pour somebody a glass of this, and I'll say, hey, what do you think of this? But I think it's a solid 6 out of 10, a 6 plus even. It's good. Yeah. At the time, there's really nothing wrong with it at all. At the time, I think these were going for like $55, something like that. 60 tops back in 2018 or 19 when I first bought this. So that's my score. I'm sticking with it. Check out my new channel, Just Music, with the link in the description below. Hats off to you all, and take care, folks.